Hi, my name's Andy James and welcome to this Quick Licks DVD in which we're going to be looking at 25 licks in the style of Kirk Hammett. Now we've definitely got a lot of licks to get through on this DVD, so grab your guitars and we'll go through some tuning notes. Okay, the chosen key for all these licks on this DVD is E minor, and here's the first lick. Okay, we're going to start this first lick by barring across the 12th fret on the G and the B string with our first finger. I'm going to play both those notes and then slightly bend them both, pulling them down towards the floor like this. Okay, then after that we're going to play 14, 12, 14 on the D string like this. And then when we've played 14 again, we're just going to add some vibrato. Kirk Hammett's got a very distinctive vibrato, and it's kind of, you can get the effect by playing the note and then just leaving your finger on that note and just taking the rest of your hand off the neck and then just literally wobble your arm up and down, so it'll kind of be like this. And it kind of just shakes like that. So with the lick it should sound like this. Okay, for the second half of the lick we're going to repeat the first part again. So bar the 12th fret on the G and the B and pull that down towards the floor slightly. Then we're going to have 14 to 12 on the D. Then we're going to play 14 on the G and then use the same vibrato technique. So both together at a slow tempo should sound like this. Okay, now for lick 2. Okay, the first part of lick 2 is just pretty much the same as lick 1. So we're going to bar across the 12th fret on the G and the B again and pull that down to the floor slightly. Then we're going to have 14, 12, 14 on the D with some vibrato on 14. Then we're going to have this run. Which is 12, 13, 14 on the D. 12 on the G, then 14, 13, 12 on the D, same on the A, then we're going to have 10, 12, 10, 12 on the A, and then some vibrato on the 12th fret on the A. So at a slow tempo it should sound like this. Okay, now we're going to take a look at lick 3. Okay, we're going to start this lick on 10 on the low E and play 10 to 12, same on the A. Then we're going to have a hammer on and pull off from 10 to 12 on the A back to 10, then play 12, 10 on the low E. Okay, and this is going to be the pattern throughout this next lick. Okay, the next position shift is going to move up to the 12th fret on the A and play 12 to 14. Then the same on the D. Then we're going to have a hammer on pull off from 12 to 14 back to 12 on the D. Then 14 to 12 on the A. Okay, so slow it should be like this. Okay, and when you put those first two parts together, it should also sound like this. Okay, using the same pattern, we're going to move to the 12th fret on the D this time and play 12 to 14. Then then 12 to 14 on the G. Then we're going to hammer on and pull off from 12 to 14 back to 12 on the G. Then play 14 to 12 on the D. Okay, so slow, so far we should have this. Then we're going to bar across the 12th fret on the G and the B, play 14 on the D twice, and then play the barred notes again across the G and the B on the 12th fret. Okay, so the whole of lick 3 slow should sound like this. Okay, now we're going to take a look at lick 4. Okay, what we're doing here is we're barring across the 14th fret on the G and the B string and bending both of those down towards the floor. Then what we're going to do with a series of pull-offs, we're going to pull off from 14 to 12 on the G and then 14 to 12 on the D, and then just keep repeating that. So, and you just play that 4 times. So here it is again. Okay, now for lick 5. Okay, for this we're going to bend up 14 on the G a whole step and then play the 12th fret on the B and then just repeat that. Okay, so the bend on the 14th fret on the G is up a whole step and it will sound just like the fretted note on the 12th fret on the B, but what you're doing is you're bending the first note and then playing pretty much the same note in pitch but on a different string. So you play that 4 times, and then for the next bit you're going to do the same thing, but you're going to bend up the 15th fret on the B a whole step and play 12 on the high E, and you're going to speed it up slightly. So okay, so both of them together at a slow tempo should sound like this. Now we're going to take a look at lick number 6. Okay, for this first pattern we're going to be playing 15 on the high E, pull off to 12 on the high E, but then we're going to be barring a first finger to cover the 12th fret on the D as well. And picking for this, we're going to start on an upstroke, then pull off to the 12 on the high E, so we're going to have, then we're just going to play the 12th fret on the B with a downstroke and repeat that, and each of these are going to be repeated 8 times, so we're going to have okay, now we're going to move that up and we're going to play 17 on the high E, pull off to 14, and then we're going to play 15 on the B using the same technique with the left hand and the right hand. Okay, so both those together should sound like this at a slow tempo. Okay, now we're going to move up to the next position, which is going to be 19, pull off to 15 on the high E, and then we're going to play 17 on the B using the same technique again. Okay, now the next 2 positions to finish off this lick will only be played 4 times each. So this next position will be 22, pull off to 17 on the high E, then we're going to have 19 on the B, again using the same technique. Then we're going to shift up and play 24, pull off to 19 on the high E, and then play 22 on the B. Okay, so that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, now lick 7. Okay, to start this lick off, we're going to bend up the 22nd fret on the high E string. Then we're going to let it down and play the actual note on the 22nd fret with no bend. Then we're going to play 19, 22, 19, 22, 19, and then we're going to play 22 on the B. Then we're going to play 19, and then bend up 22 on the high E again. So at slow tempo we're going to have this. Then we're going to play 19 just before we go into a series of trills, the first starting on the 22nd fret, pull off to 19, then hammer on, so like this. Then we're going to move down and play 19, pull off to 17, hammer on 19, and trill between those two notes. Then trill between 17 and 15 on the high E string, and then between 15 and 12 on the high E. So that whole lick slow should sound like this. Now for lick number 8. Okay, for this lick we're going to pull off from 15 to 12 on the high E, then hammer on 15 on the B, then we're going to play 12, 15, pull off to 12 on the B. So 12 on the high E, 15, pull off to 12 on the B. So that's going to be the pattern pretty much, and then instead of starting from 15 on the high E, we're then just going to start from 15 on the B and then continue down. So then start on 15 on the B, pull off to 12 on the B, hammer on 14 on the G, then 12, 14, 12 on the G. Okay, so far we should have this. Then we're going to have 14, pull off to 12 on the G, hammer on 14 on the D, then we're going to have 12 on the G, then 14, pull off to 12, hammer on to 14 to finish off on the D. Okay, so that whole part of the lick slow should sound like this. Okay, the picking for this lick, I'm just going to start on a downstroke, and then you're going to pull off to the second note and hammer on the third note. Then the next pick is going to be on an upstroke, so each string gets 2 picks, and the first is a downstroke and then the second is an upstroke, and you do this all the way down to the D string. So for this next performance of it, just pay attention to the right hand. Okay, and the next half of the lick will sound like this. So we're going to bar across the G and the B on the 12th fret with the first finger. Then we're going to have 14, 12, 14, 12 on the D. So, then back to the bar again. Then 14, pull off to 12 on the D. 14, slide to 12 on the A. 12, pull off to 10 on the A, and then hammer back on the 12. So at a slow tempo, the whole lick should sound like this. Okay, here's lick number 9. Okay, this first part of the lick is going to start on the 15th fret on the high E string, and we're going to have 15 pull off to 12, 14 pull off to 12, 15 on the B, and then 12 on the high E, and then we're just going to repeat that with a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs. Okay, now the picking for this, we're going to down pick the first note and then pick the last 2 notes in the sequence, so the 12th fret being the last note and then the 15th fret being the start of the lick again. So that'll be an upstroke on the 12th fret on the high E and a downstroke to then start the lick again on the 15th fret. Okay, so that first part of the lick you actually repeat 5 times round. Now the second time we're going to move up and we're going to play, use the same pattern again, but we're going to play from 17 to 12 on the high E, then 15 to 12 on the high E, and then play 15 on the B and do the end like we did before. So it's going to look like this time. So together they should look like this. Then for the third part of the lick, we're going to move up to 19 on the high E, pull off to 15 on the high E, and then we're going to use 17 on the B, and then keep the pattern the same again. So it's going to look like this. And we've also got 17 on the high E there as well. So 19, 15, 17, 15 on the high E, then 17 on the B, 15 on the high E. Okay, so all 3 of those shapes together should sound like this. Okay, now for lick 10. Okay, we're going to start this on the 14th fret on the high E, hammer on 15 on the high E, pull off to 14, pull off to 12, so. Then on the B we're going to play 15, pull off to 13, pull off to 12, hammer on 13, hammer on 15, pull off to 13 and then pull off to 12. Okay, so far we've got this. Then 14, 12, 11 on the G, so 14, pull off to 12, pull off to 11. Hammer on 12, hammer on 14, pull off to 12, pull off to 11. So. Okay, so far it should sound like this. Then we're going to move to the D string and play 14, pull off to 12, pull off to 10. Hammer on 12, hammer on 14, then pull off to 12, pull off to 10. So we're going to have. Then after that we're going to slide down from 10 to 9 on the A. Okay, and for the last part of this lick we're going to play 14, pull off to 12, pull off to 10 on the low E, and then finish on 12 on the low E. So that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, for this next lick we're going to take a look at playing lick 1 again, seeing as we're doing all the licks in the order that they feature on the backing track. This is the next lick that follows, so let me just remind you of that. Okay, and then after that it's beginning of lick 2. And then it's got a slightly different ending which goes like this. Okay, which goes 12th fret on the G and then bend that towards the floor slightly. Then we're going to have 14 to 12 on the D. Then we're going to have 14, 13, 12 on the A. Then we're going to have a hammer on from 10 to 12 on the A to finish. So with the first couple of licks it should sound like this. Okay, now for lick number 11. Okay, this lick's going to start on the 12th fret on the B, and we're going to hammer onto the 15th fret and pull off to the 12th fret on the B, so we're going to have. Then we're going to slightly bend up 14 on the G with a second finger, and then go for the hammer on again, and we're just going to repeat this round. And we're only picking one note and the rest is hammer-ons and pull-offs, and it's just going to be an upstroke constantly on the 12th fret on the B. So then, because we've got our finger barred, or first finger barred across the B string and the high E string on the 12th fret, we're then going to alternate between the 12th fret on the B and the 12th fret on the high E halfway through the lick. So at slow tempo it should sound like this. Then it's going to end with a full step bend on the 15th fret on the B. Okay, now for lick 12. Okay, for this lick we're going to play 17, pull off to 12 on the B, then 15, pull off to 12 on the B. So then 15 on the G, and then 12 on the B, and then we start the lick again. And then after that, we're going to play this. So it's going to be 15 to 12 on the B string, 14 to 12 on the G, so 14 to 12 on the D, then we're going to start on the 14th fret on the G and play 14 to 12, same on the D, same on the A, then we're going to play 14 to 12 on the D, same on the A, then we're going to play 15, 12, 15 on the low E. So and when you put it with the first part of that lick, it should sound like this at a slow tempo. Right, now for lick 13. Okay, this is going to start on the 10th fret on the low E string, and we're going to be using alternate picking for this. So we'll start with a downstroke, and every other stroke will be up and then down, and so on. So 10 on the low E, 12, and then 14. Then same on the A, and play that twice. So it's then 10, 12, 14 on the D. So far we've got this. Then repeat 10, 12, 14 on the D. Then play 11, 12 and 14 on the G. And repeat that. Then we're going to play 12, 13, 15 on the B. Okay, so far we should have this. Then we're going to repeat 12, 13 and 15 on the B. Play 12, 14, 15 on the high E. Then repeat, so 12, 13, 15 on the B again. Then 12, 14, 15 on the high E. Then we're going to shift position and move to 13 on the B, 15, 17. And then 14, 15, 17 on the high E. Then repeat. And then to finish off, we're going to play the same lick 3 times. So we're going to have 15, 17, 19 on the B, and then the same on the high E, and then repeat that 3 times. So we're going to have... Okay, so that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, now for lick 14. Okay, this is all going to be alternate picking, starting with a downstroke on the 17th fret on the high E, and we're going to play 17, 19, 17, 15, and that's going to be the pattern. And we're going to play that twice. Then we're going to move up and play 19, 22, 19, 17, and that's going to be the pattern, starting from the 19th fret on the high E, using alternate picking. So then the last shape is going to be 22, 24, 22, 19, and then repeat. So that whole lick slow should sound like this. Right, now for lick 15. Okay, now we're going to be tremolo picking the high E string, and to do this it's just going to be down up strokes in quick succession, like that. And what we're going to be doing is playing the notes 15, 12, 14, 12, so we're going to have, then we're going to go back to 15, then play 17, and each time we lift our finger off we've got 12 going constantly on the high E string. So slow, we're going to have this. Okay, then we're going to move it, and we're going to start on 14 on the high this time, and 10 on the high E string is going to be our constant note, and then the notes we're going to be moving around are 14, 12, 14, 15, so it's going to look like this. Okay, so using that actual technique and those position shifts, the actual lick sounds like this. Okay, moving into lick number 16, and we're using a similar technique, but again we're just in a different position, so it's going to look like this. Okay, so 12 is going to be our constant note on the B string, and we're going to be moving between 15, 14, 15, 17, then back to 15 and 14, while playing the 12th fret in between those notes, using the same right hand tremolo picking technique. Then we're going to go to 15, 12 on the B, and then we're going to have 14, 12 on the G. So we're going to have, then back to 14 on the G, 12, and then 14 to 12 on the D. So far we've got this. Then to finish up, we're going to go back to 14 on the G and play this. So picking on the 14th fret on the G, 12, then 14, pull off to 12, and then hammer on 14 on the D. Right, now for some tapping in lick 17. Okay, what we're doing here is we're starting with a tap on the 17th fret on the high E string, pulling off to 15, pulling off to 12, then re-hammer on 15 and then tap 17, and we're going to repeat this 8 times round, the first note being on the 17th tap, so we're just going to do that 8 times. Then we're going to finish by pulling off from 15 to 12 on the high E. Okay, now we're going to do the same pattern, but we're moving to the B string this time, playing the same notes, but this time we're going to play it 4 times round. Then we're going to move to the G string and play 16, pull off to 14, pull off to 12, hammer on 14 and play that 4 times. Okay, so slow, that whole tapping lick should sound like this. Now for lick number 18. Okay, we're going to start this on the B string and 7, hammer on to 8, pull off to 7. Then we're going to move to the G and play 9, pull off to 7, hammer on to 9. So. Then we're going to have a hammer on from 12 to 15, then pull off to 12 on the B. Then 14, pull off to 12, hammer on to 14 on the G. So far we've got this. Then we're going to have this lick. Okay, which is 14, 15, 17 on the high E. Then we're going to have 15, 14 after that. 15 on the B, 14 on the G, then 11, 12, 14 on the G, 12, 11 on the G. So far we've got this. Then we've got 12 on the D, 12 on the A, 10 and then 9 on the A. Then we've got 10, 12 on the A, then a hammer on between 10 to 12, back to 10 on the A, and then pull off to 9 on the A, and then we've got 12, 10, 12 on the low E. Okay, so that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, now we're going to take a look at lick 19. Okay, for this lick we're going to start on the 12th fret on the low E string. Then we're going to play 10, 12, 13. Then slide from 13 to 15. Then play 13, 12, slide down to 7, then we're going to have 12, 11, 10 and then 8. And then if you want to, you can hammer on and pull off between 8 and 10 on the low E string, like that. So that lick slow should sound like this. Okay, now for lick 20. Okay, this first part, we're going to start with a downstroke and just do down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's going to be 16, 14, 12, and we're just going to repeat that 8 times, starting on 16. Then we're going to move down and play 14, 12, 11, starting with a downstroke, and we're going to play that for 8 times. Okay, now we're going to move down to 12 and play 12, 11, 9, but we're only going to play that twice. Then we're going to move back up to 14, 12, 11 and play that twice. Then back up to where we started on 16, 14, 12, play that twice. Then we're going to play 17, 16, 14, play that twice. Then we're going to move to the B string now and play 19, 17, 15 twice. Same on the high E string. Then we're going to finish with this lick. So then we're going to play 20, then 19, ham on to 20, pull off to 19, pull off to 17. Then we're going to have 20 on the B, 17 on the high E. Then we're going to bend up 20, a whole step on the B to finish. So that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, here's lick 21. Okay, we're going to start this on the 17th fret on the B string, and we're going to pick 17, 19, 20, then pick the same notes on the high E string, so then we're going to have 19, hammer on 20, pull off to 19, pull off to 17. So far we've got this. Then we're going to have 20 on the B, 17 on the high E, then 20 and 19 on the B to finish. And this is going to be the pattern that we're going to now use for the next couple of shapes to follow. So that first shape, slow, should sound like this. Now we're going to do the same pattern but using frets 15, 17 and 19 on the B and the high E. Same pattern again, but 13, 15, 17 on the B, and then 14, 15, 17 on the high E. Then the last position is 12, 13, 15 on the B, and then 12, 14, 15 on the high E, same pattern again. So slow, that whole lick should sound like this. Now for lick 22. Okay, we're going to bend up 15 on the B string up a whole step. Then we're going to have 12 on the high E, 15 pull off to 12 on the B. And we're just going to repeat that 4 times. Then we're going to have 15, pull off to 12 on the high E, 15 on the B, 12 on the high E, 15 pull off to 12 on the B. So we're going to have, then we're going to have 15 pull off to 12 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the B, 14 pull off to 12 on the G. Then we're going to have a quick bend on the 14th fret on the G, pull off to 12, and then re-hammer on 14 or pick it. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so that whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, here's lick 23. Okay, for this next lick, it involves a little bit of sweep picking, but only towards the floor. We're going to start on the 19th fret on the high E, and then we're going to pull off to the 15th fret on the high E. Then we're going to play 17 on the B, and then when we get to the 16 on the G, that's when we start our downstroke to then sweep back up the same pattern we've just come down. So okay, so that's going to be 16 on the G, sweep through to 17 on the B, then 15 on high E. So that's 3 downstrokes in a row, pushed through the strings, not individually picked, and then we're going to finish on an upstroke on the 19th fret to then repeat the lick again. So slow, the lick should look like this. Okay, so that first shape that we just looked at is repeated 4 times. Then we're going to move down and we're going to play 17 to 14 on the high E. Use the same right hand technique again. So we're going to pull off from 17 to 14, play 15 on the B, then start our sweep from the 14th fret on the G, back up the same shape again. And that's repeated 4 times as well. Then we're going to use that same shape but 2 frets down, use the same right hand technique. This time we're going to start from the 15th fret on the high E, pull off to 12, 13 on the B, then 12 on the G, and then back up again. So and then back up to the last arpeggio section which started on 17 on the high E, and play that 4 times again. Okay, so that whole lick slow should sound like this. Let's take a look at lick 24. Okay, so those arpeggio positions were exactly the same, but the last arpeggio goes back to how we played it in lick 22, and we just play that twice. Then we have this run on the end. Okay, which starts on the 14th fret on the high E string, and we're going to hammer on to 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12, then 15, 14, 12 on the B, 14, 15, pull off to 14, pull off to 12. So far we've got this. Then we're going to have 15, 14, 12 on the G, 14 on the D, and then bar across this, the 12th fret on the G and the B with our first finger. And we're back into lick 1 again. Followed by lick 2. Okay, now for the final lick 25. Okay, to start off this last lick, we're going to bend up a whole step on the 15th fret on the B string. Then we're going to hammer on and pull off from 12 to 15 back to 12 on the high E string. Then pull off from 15 to 12 on the B. Then we're going to bend up 14 on the G a whole step. Hammer on from 12 to 15 on the B, pull off to 12. Then we're going to have 14, pull off to 12 on the G. Then finish on 14 on the D. Okay, so that's the first part of the lick. Okay, then for the second half of the lick, we're going to have 12, hammer on to 14, pull off to 12 on the G. Then we're going to have 14, pull off to 12 on the D. Then 14 on the A. So, then 12, hammer on to 14 on the D, pull off to 12. 14, pull off to 12 on the A, and then to finish up we're going to have 15, pull off to 12 on the low E. Okay, so the whole lick slow should sound like this. Okay, unfortunately we've come to the end of the DVD. I think you'll agree there's a lot of licks to get through there. And don't forget the backing track's also available on the DVD, so you can take all of these licks and practice over that, or you could just take these licks and use them in your everyday playing. Whatever you choose to do, just have fun with it, and until next time, I'll see you later.